You better watch out if your enemies are rolled ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, loves of blood and gold. Always wanting more, freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel it worth their party. And if you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped. You be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, I go out with somebody, and she's like 21, and she's talking about, what are you doing? And she's studying algebra. And,
So what?
And it's like, it was always embarrassing for me to walk in. It's too young. 30's like a perfect age.
Absolutely. She has enough life experience.
Until she's 35.
Too much life experience.
What is it at 35, Howard? It's called checkout time.
And you're probably, I would say, the greatest judge of beauty on this planet. In fact, I would create a TV show for you where all you did was just judge women.
Now, that may be the best idea of all.
It's a simple thing. It's a half hour, and we strip it out all over the country.
I would say I'm the all-time judge.
You own this pageant. You go over. You're meeting the girls and stuff. One of them comes up to you and says, "Mr. Trump, you're a very sexy man.
You're a beautiful man. You have fantastic hair.
Well, you're a powerful man, right? Right? You're a powerful man.
Right.
I want to sleep with you." Now, you're not the type that would say no.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right. No, but I mean, you see a beautiful woman. You want to have that. You're a guy who likes to have everything, right?
Well, couldn't that be construed, however, as
conflict?
Yes.
Well, I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
Hey, there we go. Holy shit. Can you hear me now? Say yes. Hopefully everything works fine. Let's turn this up. All right. Now we should be okay. I hope. Let me double check. Jesus Christ. Talk about a good way to start the show. According to my settings, it says now that I'm talking. Hi, how are you? Welcome to another show. We got a lot to talk about today. I want to talk about Mike's doing some family stuff, so I'm just going to do this on my own today. No worries. We've done it before, so you guys can hang out with me for like the next hour or so. Donald Trump is desperately trying to get away from the Epstein scandal, and they've come up with a new one to try and distract from all of this, and that is that Obama, they're investigating Obama now for creating the Russian hoax. So we're going back to that now. So we're going, they're again trying desperately just to cover this up. I have some highlights, some clips from the protest that Mike and I went to on Thursday, which I tell you guys was one of the most powerful experiences of my life. We did not know this when we got there, but we marched to 26 Federal Plaza in downtown Manhattan and surrounded the ICE building, the immigration court and detention facility downtown. They had no idea we were coming. And they set up a police line between us and the building, which Mike and I were literally standing, and I have the clip here. We didn't give a shit. We were quite literally almost crossing the police barrier. We were standing in the barricade, and they didn't do anything. And I wanted to show that to you guys because that's how most of these protests are. Most of the protests are 100% without event. No violence, nobody fighting, no guns, no nothing. It's most of the times. I've not experienced anything yet. James out in Los Angeles, however, has because he's on the front lines of it all. But that's what they want you to think. They want you to think all across the country, if you go to a protest, you're going to be encountered with some kind of resistance. And most of the time, nothing happens. Nothing happens because we all know ICE are just a bunch of cowards, and we all know MAGA are too. They're just a bunch of talk. They just like to talk shit. But when it comes time to actually back it up, you know what I mean, on the street, they don't do anything. They don't do anything. They're just a bunch of they're just pathetic. And we're also going to talk about Donald Trump's health because that has become a very large concern for a lot of people. And the funny part is just a few months ago, actually, I think it was April, they came out and said that Donald Trump had the health of a collegiate athlete. He was 250 pounds. His blood work was absolutely perfect. And now he's been diagnosed with some kind of chronic venous deficiency. According to Stormy Daniels, he also has a chronic penis deficiency, but that's another story for another time. But this was the photo that we showed last time, and that was of Donald Trump's cankles. And I think this is what sparked them to finally come out and admit that Donald Trump's health is shit. And you can see next to his foot is a Diet Coke. Sure, all the diet soda and McDonald's have nothing to do with the fact. I mean, I can't believe this guy's lived this long. He honestly thinks golf is a physical activity. And you don't even walk the course. Like, he thinks driving in a golf cart for 4 hours and playing a round of golf where you just get off the golf cart, swing the club, get back in the golf cart, and drive to your next destination. That is the most physical activity you will ever see Donald Trump do. I would like to see Donald Trump do one push-up. Like, you guys talk about how much of a man Donald Trump is. Make him do a push-up. If he can do a pull-up. If Donald Trump could do one pull-up, I will agree that he is the manliest man in the history of manhood. But until then, he's a clown who wears more makeup than a drag queen and is completely destroying this country. But I'm getting off topic. So I'll play my first video here. This is Donald Trump, how he is handling when reporters ask him questions about Jeffrey Epstein now.
Mr. President, why not go further than just unsealing this? Mr. President, did you send that letter? Release the full
files. He's like, I'm just gonna run. Oh, what do you guys like? You guys like the new setup? I told you guys I was redecorating my office. I actually have a big picture coming that I'm going to be hanging behind me, but I got this dope-ass little projector for $40. It's like a little astronaut thing, and it just shines this cool nebula and stars on the back, which I thought. Plus, I got a new desk. I opened it up. I wish you guys could see this part of it now because it actually looks kind of like a studio now and not just a bunch of random tables stacked in the form of a desk. So we're kind of getting official here. So, yeah, other than the tech issues on occasion, I think we're doing pretty good for ourselves. So, but yeah, Donald Trump is completely just ignoring the press about this. But videos from Trump's past have resurfaced. Actually, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, videos of Donald Trump's past have resurfaced. Midas Touch Network was able to get their hands on a video from like 1991 where Donald Trump is judging a beauty pageant. It's like putting a fox in a room full of chickens. Like putting a predator around young girls is insane. Okay. And this was at the height when he was like buddy with Jeffrey Epstein and all that. So, but anyway, let me show you some of the protest highlights. I'll mute the video or the audio so I can talk to you guys. But this was the scene on the streets of New York City. We were downtown. Like I said, we were right next to the Freedom Tower, right where the Twin Towers used to be in that area. And you can see I was able to stream using both cameras from my phone, which I've never done. So the front camera was recording my face or whoever was standing in front of it, and the other camera recording what was going on the streets. So you can see behind me, down the bottom right, that is the ICE, that is the detention facility, that's immigration court right there. So we are right next, right in between them and the crowd. And when they showed up, they were not ready. They were freaking out. They were like, "Oh my God, we have a crowd forming." I could hear it on the radio. They did not expect all of us to march down there to surround ICE. So we did a sit-in where we sat in complete silence, which sounds silly at first, but when you experience it, I've never understood the term silence is deafening until now. I mean, the silence was loud. You could hear a pin drop on the streets in New York. It was just crazy. And then to make it even more powerful, the people carried flowers with them, and they hung the flowers and pictures of people that have been kidnapped by ICE on the fence surrounding the ICE facility. This was just an amazing experience. Then people came up and started laying flowers right at the police barricade, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Let me pull up the video. I have another video that shows. While you're watching that one, there we go. So yeah, people start walking up and laying flowers. The signs were good too. They had some really good signs, but there was just probably 5,000 people were there. So here we are. Mike and I at this point are right in front of the cops, and to get the footage of everybody, we just walked right into the barricade and they didn't do anything. They didn't tell us to get back, nothing, but you can see all the people laying flowers. It was honestly a powerful experience. Some lady handed a cop a flower and gave him a really nice sarcastic, thank you for protecting the people of this country kind of thing. And he ended up throwing the flower on the ground. I think Mike has a picture of that. And then the last video. And again, everybody's. This is on the left side is the fence surrounding the ICE building, and you can see all the people were putting flowers and posters and everything on the bill or on the fence. Yeah, this was an amazing. You saw drone shots of this crowd? No shit. That's pretty cool. You can see my hat is we were soaked. I mean, it was 90 degrees, humid as hell. We were surrounded by a bunch of bodies, warm bodies. You know what I mean? A bunch of people. I was cooked by the end of the day. Yeah, we had a good time though, man. We had a really good time. And it actually worked out really good. We were able to multi-stream to all of we streamed to Twitch, Kick, and YouTube all at once from my phone while using both cameras from the phone. We only needed to use my Samsung S24 Ultra, and it worked out fine. We got cut off at one point. The only thing bad is if you lose signal, you got to restart the stream, which is what happened with us. But here you can see all the people putting flowers right on the fence, right outside of ICE. There are people in this country right now that are going to sleep not knowing where their loved ones are. That's a fact. Because there is no communication. Once ICE picks somebody up, there's no due process. So they're just disappearing people, essentially. This is one of the reasons why we call them Donald Trump's Gestapo. That's their tactic. They pick people up off the streets, and then we'll never see them again. So yeah, but we had an amazing experience. I'm already planning on my next one. I contacted the head of the Pennsylvania branch of 5051 because I met them. They know who I am now. Every time I show up, they're like, "Hey, you're that podcaster guy." I'm like, "Hey." So anyway, I talked to him. Their next major one in my state capital is going to be August 2nd, which is not that far away. I was going to go to DC on the 27th, but that's only a week away. So I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch considering I just got back from New York City, but I want to continue to go to these events. I want to continue to live stream them. Now that we've got all the tech stuff figured out, we can do a really nice on location stream. We got good mobile microphones, and all we need is our phone, which is really cool. We don't need extra cameras or anything like that. So worked out really well. All right. So anyway, going back to Donald Trump. Oh, again, if you guys want to see that, that's on our YouTube channel. If you could share it, that'd be great. And just get the word out that people were on the streets, because we didn't see any corporate news there. None. It was just independent news in us, which I don't consider us news. I consider us more of a very opinionated commentary channel. So, all right. So anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to Donald Trump. First, let's start with this. Donald Trump calling into a news station, and you could tell that they're just dying to cover this Epstein shit up. But here you go. Here's another clip of Donald Trump.
If they were run by Chris Wray and they were run by Comey, and because it was actually even before that administration, right? They've been running these files. And so much of the things that we found were fake with me. And so much of the things that we found were fake with me. And so much of the things that we found were fake with me.
Right. So did he just admit that he's in it, but that it's fake? The stuff that's about him, all the other stuff is true, but the stuff about Donald Trump is fake. I don't know. Did he inadvertently, accidentally just admit that they do exist and that he's in them? I don't know, but all right, here's another clip. This one I like because you can tell that the Donald Trump cannot keep up with the lies. Usually the one thing that Donald Trump is really good at is being able to, lie fluently with full confidence, but that is not happening anymore. Here he actually stumbles his words and fumbles his words while trying to lie about the Epstein list. Just you can tell it's starting to get to him.
On Epstein, the Attorney General briefed you on the DOJ and FBI review, the findings of that review. The Attorney General briefed you on that.
What? On the
DOJ and FBI
on what?
review.
On what subject?
Epstein. Okay. On Epstein, of the review of the files. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
A very quick briefing.
Did she tell you, what did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the file?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well. And it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release. Yeah.
Ah, yes. So they're going back to the old tactic of make Obama the bad guy. Even though Obama, nobody cares what Obama's doing right now, okay? So Donald Trump is now trying to distract from the Epstein case by saying that Obama is the one that orchestrated the Russia hoax. It's honestly hard to keep up with. Because it's so stupid. But here is Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard coming out swinging on Twitter and on the news. But this is what she's saying on Twitter. Tulsi Gabbard posts, Americans will finally learn the truth about how in 2016 intelligence was politicized by Obama. Yeah. And by the most powerful people in the Obama administration to lay the groundwork for what was essentially a years-long coup against real Donald Trump. Here's how. Okay, so they came up with this really cool chart, or a little flow chart, so all the dumbass MAGAs will believe it and follow it. So we got, some trigger words like deep state. But yeah, so here it says the real intel assessment: Russian criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. election results by conducting cyber attacks. Donald Trump wins the 2016 election, and then Obama, who is now out of office, mind you, after Trump won the election, apparently was not happy with that, and has now, December 9th, after the election is over, Obama, who is not going to be staying in office, this would serve no purpose whatsoever, has a secret meeting about Russia. Okay, then the deep state leaks it. Yeah, okay. Obama officials use their media propaganda arm to spread fake news. Oh my God. And then a fake weaponized assessment is what they're saying. Yeah. Okay. This is what you want to go with. Yeah, let's see how that works. But anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene had to jump on board and wrote, "I hope those who committed treason," she just said the former president committed treason, "and abused their power will be held accountable." Okay, not the guy who incited a violent insurrection to maintain power and who may or may not have actually cheated on the 2024 election with the help of Elon Musk. Distraction, projection, confession. That's all it is with these people. So, yeah, the comments, though, are insane on some of these. Yeah, Twitter's a special place. That's for sure. Gunther Eagleman is one of Donald Trump's best bootlickers. I don't know what this guy does, but he literally just he has 1.4 million followers, and his post says, "Tulsi Gabbard talking about putting Obama in prison on a Sunday morning excites me." Yeah, okay, so then they ask Grok, is it true that Obama committed the acts he is being accused of? Grok replies, yeah. Yeah, okay. There you go. Here's Grok's answer. They did hold a meeting. These people are so sick. Are we done with Epstein? I saw this video, apparently now Donald Trump is posting videos of money raining down on the White House and somehow implying that his followers are going to see some of this money. They will believe quite literally anything. Oh, new update. We have new trade deals coming in. Guess what? 2 weeks. It's always 2 weeks with these people. Always 2 weeks. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Here's Tulsi Gabbard on the news talking about, I call it the Obama distraction, but here she is talking about how they think Obama went, whatever, dude.
We are referring all of the documents that we have uncovered to the Department of Justice and the FBI for a criminal referral.
Yeah. And do you believe that we will see prosecutions? I mean, our audience wants to know where this story goes from here. Will we ever see anyone held accountable for this incredible lie on the American people?
I will do all that I can, and we have whistleblowers, actually, Maria, coming forward now after we release these documents, because there are people who were around, who were working within the intelligence community at this time, who were so disgusted by what happened. We're starting to see some of them come out of the woodwork here because they, too, like you and I and the American people, want to see justice delivered. So we're going to provide everything that we have, everything that we will continue to gather to the Department of Justice for that direct intent and that direct purpose.
But they won't release the Epstein files. They're gonna make up a fake prosecution against Barack Obama and call themselves the most transparent presidential administration in history, while simultaneously not releasing the Epstein files, which we know for a fact Donald Trump is on them. There is quite literally a 0% chance that Donald Trump is not on the file or not in the files. Quite literally a 0% chance. They were best friends. They were best freaking friends. They ran together for over a decade. So the fact that they're just like, oh, is he in it or is he not in it? Yes. Yes. Donald Trump is the Epstein files. Him and Bill Clinton. We have two presidents. Two. Who may or may not have, allegedly, I have to say for legal reasons, done nasty things to little girls. Two. That says a lot about this country. And the fact that the GOP is covering, I don't ever want to hear we're protecting the kids ever again. We're protecting them from trans people. Well, the left is trying to protect them from you. And I guarantee a lot of these MAGA men don't have a problem with what Donald Trump did because he did it with little girls and not little boys. That's how sick these people are. I guarantee it. Some of them would do the same thing if they had the opportunity to do it. That's why you don't hear a lot of outrage about it. Now, women, I don't know why you support Donald Trump to begin with. I really don't. But even Republican lawmakers for years have been trying to lower the age to legally marry a child, to have sex with a child. They want to lower the age of consent. Yeah, the party of protecting kids. My fucking ass. Y'all are disgusting perverts who should not be allowed near children, yet alone procreate and have children. God forbid. Jesus, these people are gross. So, but anyways, the most transparent presidential administration in history is still not released the medical report from when he was shot. Why? Donald Trump is one of the most boisterous egomaniacs on planet Earth. If Donald Trump had been shot in the ear, we would have saw pictures of it on his own social media. He probably would have hung a picture of his ear and the White House. His ear would have been his official presidential portrait. And there's no scar. And there was no bruising. If you think you can get shot in the ear with a bullet, any bullet, I don't care if it's a BB. A BB. You can go to a BB gun or Walmart right now, buy a BB gun, shoot somebody in the ear, and it would have taken more fucking damage than Donald Trump did from an AR-15. I mean, seriously, at this point, I do not think Donald Trump was shot. I think that moment was Donald Trump's false flag operation. He was bleeding support. He was hemorrhaging support. He needed to do something extreme to get the people back on his side. So what does he do? And I'm going to show you guys a video probably tomorrow or Tuesday that shows one of the Secret Service agents running over to grab cameramen before, as soon as Donald Trump went down and hit the ground, there's a Secret Service agent, and I'm being a little conspiracy right now. Secret Service agent runs over and grabs cameramen, not medics or, I don't know, a getaway vehicle. He grabs the camera people, and then when Donald Trump gets into the perfect spot, they lowered the flag. I'm not even kidding. The flag in the background lowers the moment they went and took that picture. I'll find the clip and I'll show it to you. But when he's called out on this fact that we've not seen one of the left-wing creators that I follow, and I can't remember the name off the top of his head, of course, calls it out, where, we still haven't seen the medical reports. And just watch the reaction from the conservative hosts here. This was on Abby Phillip, her show.
He supposedly got shot in the
And by his
ear.
doctor.
We never heard from his doctors on that.
You said supposedly?
When did we hear from his doctors?
Guys,
When did we hear from his doctors?
hold on. If y'all stop screaming at the table, maybe I can actually respond.
Supposedly.
Hold on.
Supposedly.
Okay.
That's where we are now.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Teray, he was shot in the ear.
Thank you for
very
much.
Okay,
hear from
part
the doctors?
two.
We would
Part
always
two.
hear from his
Did
doctors
we hear
when
from
you
his
get shot.
doctors? Did we hear from his doctors?
Is this really
Scott,
your argument?
I mean,
is this
Scott,
the best
did we hear
argument
from
you
his
have?
doctors?
I mean, all I know is I went to the Republican
That would
National
be no.
Convention and he had
That would be no.
a bandage
Okay,
on his
so
ear.
all right,
no.
I don't.
He had blood on his face. Where did it come
Let me
from?
just hold on a second.
Why?
guys.
Thank you for being
Why
intellectually honest.
are we?
Gentlemen,
Thank you.
Teray, gentlemen,
He
just
has
one second. I think that is
point.
this is like a total off the. This is not really what we're talking about.
You know what I'm saying, though? But seriously, though, one of the guy, he likes to brag about quite literally everything. Donald Trump brags at this AI summit, and I have a clip about his uncle who was an MIT professor, and because that's why he thinks that he's a very smart person, is because he had an uncle that went to MIT. He didn't go to MIT. Donald Trump, according to his college professors, one of the dumbest students they've ever had. So, yeah, but again, we've never seen the medical report. I'm sorry, but that bothers me. Like, you would think we would deserve to know everything about how a president almost got assassinated. I think that's important for us to learn. And we know next to nothing about Thomas Crooks. Nobody's even talking about the guy anymore. We've never seen the medical report. Donald Trump had no bruising. I barely even saw a scratch, which could have been. I'm not going to go there. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, transparency is not the Trump administration's thing. Definitely not the Trump administration's thing. So let's talk about some of these videos that have resurfaced before I go to the health issues that Donald Trump has recently come out and admitted that he has. Finally, it's not like we didn't all know that his health was absolute garbage. Yeah, let me go ahead and show you. This is the resurfaced video that Midas Touch Network got a hold of, and it shows Donald Trump around judging 14-year-old girls. Some of these girls were of proper age, but most of them were underage.
The 58 contestants participated in an exhaustive round of personal interviews designed to help our judges discover what makes each one special.
You're 5'9" reading? Serious, huh? We measure again tonight before the game. Okay. Thank you very much, Amy.
The concentration was intense inside the judging room.
What if they don't like you as you are?
And out.
I'm just so excited.
Each girl was considered not only for her beauty and poise, but also for her personality and that indefinable
something extra that makes a top model.
Okay, you want to pull your hair back 1 second? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ingrid. Good luck for tonight.
Thank you.
When it came time to choose the 21 finalists, emotions ran high as each judge expressed his or her opinion.
Yeah, putting a bunch of grown-ass men in a room with teenage girls in bathing suits is just creepy on so many levels, right? And that's the guy that is president now. Awesome, right? But we also know that Donald Trump he sexualizes all females, including his own daughter. I mean, Donald Trump has said if Ivanka wasn't his daughter, perhaps he'd be dating her. Who says that about their own child other than a true pervert?
She does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that
If I weren't happily married and, her father.
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's tall.
unbelievable.
She's almost 6 feet.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
Yeah. Yeah, just said his own daughter has a great body. And you wonder why we call him a pedo. But your own daughter, though, that's disgusting. Nobody says that about their own kid. Just only creeps and psychopaths and PDF files say that about their own daughter. Oh, but you know what? You know what? They are failing miserably to cover this up. They are trying so hard to cover this up and sweep it under the rug. I think for the next year, their entire plan is going to make people try and distract people so much that they completely forget talking about Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein files. Because we're never going to see him, at least not from the Trump administration. And if we do, it's going to be a heavily edited version of it. Because according to reports as far back as like March, Trump has had FBI staff combing through the Epstein files and flagging every single time that his name comes up. I bet you it is an exhaustive search. And you know what's crazy is they're actually using taxpayer money to look through the Epstein files to find out how many times the president of the United States is in there. So, yeah, taxpayer money well spent, right? But I have this clip of Bill O'Reilly. I talked about it a little bit when me and Mike were in New York City. All right, so Bill O'Reilly, who I think was fired for sexual harassment or sexual assault or some kind of accusations regarding that, tries to say that it was Biden. Biden was the one that locked Epstein up, and Biden was the one, and Merrick Garland were the ones that prosecuted Epstein, which we all know all of this happened under the Trump administration. But Bill O'Reilly's on live TV, has to get fact checked by his co-host, which has to be embarrassing. But this happened on live television, so let's watch it together and enjoy it.
Jeffries knew the Biden administration had the same thing the Trump administration has on Epstein. Exactly.
This is so
right.
great.
Because Epstein was convicted during the Biden administration. Not one time did Hakeem Jeffrey call for any exposition of what the
You
Biden
can hear the co-host looking it up.
knew. Not once. So this guy's a top phony. Okay, he's a political player. He doesn't care about the truth. He doesn't care about the people.
He doesn't care about the
This is
truth.
what
Hold on.
he
I just
does.
got. Hold on, Bill. Hold on. You
Oops.
said Epstein was convicted during the Biden administration. Epstein committed suicide during the Trump administration.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so.
How do you convict?
How do you convict a guy who's dead?
Was convicted in, I believe, okay, under Merrick Garland's Justice Department. I could be. Am I wrong on that?
Oh yeah. Very.
I don't think so.
Yes.
And then he was incarcerated, and then he committed suicide. Okay. The suicide thing is bull. I know the New York coroner's office very, very well. There's no way those people in there put a phony report about a suicide. No way. Impossible. And it's not hard to ascertain whether you committed
Bill,
suicide or
I think this is
somebody murdered
important. Bill, I think this is important. He was arrested in 2019, and he committed suicide in 2019. He died August 10th of 2019. So the Biden administration was not involved in a conviction or a trial of him.
At all.
They were in of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Okay. And that's a good point of clarification.
A good point of clarification? It literally just blew your entire argument out of the water. But, you know, had the co-host not fact-check him, because we know MAGA doesn't do fact-checking, and Bill O'Reilly had gone on this rant, some MAGAs would start saying this stuff, because that's all they do. They don't have original thoughts. They just repeat things that they see on their right-wing news channels. So Bill O'Reilly, it was an epic own, and yeah, I saw in the comments the drama. That clip gave me so much joy. I know, right? That was so good. I love seeing people like this fall on their face. But that's what you get. That's what you get for defending Donald Trump. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, this is one of the most reprehensible, disgusting human beings on the planet. He did gross things to girls, allegedly, for legal reasons. No, you know what? He hasn't sued a single person that has said he's on the Epstein list. So, yeah, Donald Trump did nasty things with little girls. Go ahead and sue me. Because if you sue me, then it means we would have to go through something called discovery, where we could look at all the evidence. So, yeah, Donald Trump did nasty things to little girls. And it doesn't matter if you say it, he will not sue you, or he may sue you just to try. And of course, it'll fail miserably, because right now he's trying to sue Rupert Murdoch. He is trying to sue his great friend and chief, one of his top propagandists, Rupert Murdoch, I think for $10 billion. And Rupert's like, fuck off, dude. I'm not backing down, because they're, I think, about to publish a story about him and Epstein. So Donald Trump is freaking out, because this is going to be the end of Trump. Okay? Either the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein or Donald Trump's penis deficiency. One of the two are going to kill him. Venus deficiency, sorry. One of the two, his health or the stress from all this shit from Epstein is going to kill him. But I don't think that the GOP cares much, because, like Mike and I have said this entire time, JD Vance is the plan. He always has been. He is the Heritage Foundation plan. And can we say congratulations to the founder of the Heritage Foundation for dying? Good job, buddy. We appreciate you. I'll be rotten fucking hell. I was happy. That was some good news for a change. I was hoping somebody else had died, for health reasons or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, one of those, every other day you like wake up and like, you know what? I'm going to open the news. Maybe today will be the day. Maybe you want to see Americans celebrate? Wait till Donald Trump dies. I guarantee this country is going to party when Donald Trump kicks the bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is universally hated in this country now, even by his own people, because he's called them idiots for continuing to pursue. I know we're not that lucky, Sandor. It's wishful thinking at this point. I'm pretty sure Donald Trump's going to live to be 1,000. He's all preservatives. He's like pure McDonald's. Whatever they put in McDonald's food has pickled the insides of Donald Trump. And he just doesn't die. He just keeps going like an Energizer bunny. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, maybe one day though. Maybe we can always. You know what? Let's just be optimistic, okay? MAGA gets so mad when I joke about that. I'll fuck with him on Facebook about it. Be like, damn it! I woke up today in a good mood. Saw Donald Trump was still alive. Going back to bed. You're like, yes, no, you should wish death upon somebody. I used to think that until Donald Trump got elected for the second time. Now, I would probably be the first one online to be like, yes, finally. Nothing can get rid of this guy. Nothing. We've got scandal after scandal, stealing documents, fraud, sex abuse cases. Like, nothing stops this guy. It's unbelievable. So, yeah. But we can always hope, right? So anyway, here's Donald Trump talking at the AI summit. And this is why he thinks he's a smart man. I'm serious. He thinks he's smart because he inherited genes from his uncle who went to MIT. Because Donald Trump believes in eugenics. Every time he talks about this, he's actually talking about eugenics. He thinks that like smart people breed smart people. And as a result, his uncle, not his dad, his uncle, because his uncle's smart, he must somehow also be smart. That's how Donald Trump thinks.
Permits, and I have to brag just for a second, because when I first heard about AI, it's not my thing. Although my uncle was at MIT, one of the great professors, 51 years, whatever, he was the longest serving professor in the history of MIT, 3 degrees in nuclear, chemical, and math. That's a smart man. Kaczynski was one of his students. Do you know who Kaczynski was?
Nuclear, chemical, and math. Those are not college Those are not college courses. And then Donald Trump goes on to ramble about Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, for a while. Okay, if anybody out there, I have to know, if anybody out there has a degree in nuclear, what was the second one? Whatever, in math, Math is a subject that you learn in elementary school. By the time you get to college, it's a little more complicated than that. So I'm pretty sure his uncle doesn't have a degree in any of those. Oh, chemicals. I'm sorry. Not chemistry, chemical. His uncle has a degree in chemical. Okay, guys. We truly have the dumbest president in human history. My God. Oh, wow. But yeah, so anyway, they finally come out and addressed his health. Finally. And me and Mike kind of had our suspicions. One, just because we watch this guy every single day, so you can see it if you pay attention enough. But also because he started accusing Biden of covering up his cancer diagnosis. So that's when I started thinking that something's wrong with Donald Trump. And then, the whole projection and confession. They start blaming Biden and saying, oh, he had cancer. So what's the excuse now, though? So Donald Trump is sick. According to them, it's something that is not, that's what you get with age, okay? Your valves in your blood, in your veins start to fail. So, because when blood flows one way, the valve closes, so the blood can't go back. Well, eventually, sorry, that's a bad example. But eventually, those valves fail, and the blood starts to flow the opposite direction and can pull in certain parts of the body, which would explain the cankles in Donald Trump. But my thing is, if they are reporting on it, I think he is far worse off than we think. Because they would not come out and say he's dying. They wouldn't do that, because to them, Donald Trump has to appear as the alpha male, the most invincible man on planet Earth. That's the image that they want. A strong, indestructible dictator cannot be sick. So if he is now sick, and they're saying he's sick, but they're saying it's something minor, and the excuses they give are insane. Because this picture went viral here. The bruising on the hand, you can see the makeup. Obviously, there's a lot of makeup on the hand. Now, the sores on the hand, okay? This one to me is very interesting because I have another picture that we've played on this show, that we showed on the show, of Donald Trump having open sores on his hand. They blamed it on golf. I've not played a lot of golf, but I have a buddy who plays golf all the time, and I asked him about this. He said he's never heard of such a stupid fucking thing ever. I mean, yeah, you might get blisters if you hit 1,000 golf balls at the driving range, but Donald Trump drives in a golf cart, hits the ball, gets in the golf cart, goes to the next hole. It's not like he's out there practicing at all hours of the night like he's a PGA champion. You know what I'm saying? So this could be late stage syphilis. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I'm not poking fun. I am laughing on the inside, but this could be late stage syphilis, which would explain why he sounds like he's going crazy. Most people don't know Al Capone. That's what ended up making him go batshit crazy, was he had syphilis, undiagnosed or self-treated or whatever. There's a lot of people in history that have had syphilis, but the open sores on the hand again are a big concern. So I think this is a lot worse. And the bruising on the hands, my mom, who is a nurse still at the age of 81, the woman will not stop. I swear she is truly indestructible. This little 5-foot German lady, 85 pounds soaking wet, and the woman is a beast. She still works as a nurse. She thinks it is from an IV. For anybody who's ever had an IV in the hand, that sounds a lot more reasonable than what the White House is saying, which you're not going to believe what they're saying. I'll just tell you in a second. But let me first tell you, this is the video from April, I think. Yeah, April, where Trump got a physical. Okay, we were told he was 6'13", 6. he was like 6'2", 250. Blood pressure, perfect. Blood work, perfect. Quite literally as healthy as a college athlete. And this was Caroline Leavitt Donald Trump's definite cheap propagandist out there telling everybody that Donald Trump's health is perfect 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago.
I can tell you there was certainly a lack of transparency from the former president, from the entire former administration, and frankly, a lot of people in this room when it came to the health and the competence of the former president of the United States, Joe Biden. There was one of the greatest cover-ups and frankly political scandals this nation has ever seen. It's been unraveled in some recent books that are being written by journalists who engaged in that cover-up and scandal, which is quite ironic. But this president is clearly committed to transparency. You in this room see him and hear from him on a daily basis. You in this room know from covering him, it's hard to keep up with him. He is a machine working around the clock every single day. And the physician, after today's physical, will provide an update on the report in the effort of transparency.
In the effort of transparency, he is a machine. Healthy as a horse, as they say. That was April. Now today, they're saying that the bruising, again, the penis deficiency, I just like saying that better. Donald Trump has a penis deficiency. So this is caused by the penis deficiency, the swelling in the cankles. There are no ankles there. It is calf and foot. So, foot? What do we call that? What just call it a cankle? Calf ankle. Calf ankle. And then we got the bruising on the hand. Okay, so what did we say the bruising on the hand is from? Well, Caroline Leavitt came up with a good one. It's from vigorous handshaking. I used to be in business, like in the car business, and I've shaken a lot of hands. I have never once gotten a bruise from a handshake. What kind of handshakes are you doing? Like, are you guys doing one of those like predator style handshakes where your arms are shaking and you're trying to like one up one another? Do you guys remember that with Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger like slap hands and their biceps are like this? Is that like the handshakes they do behind closed doors at the White House? Because that's the only kind of handshake I could see that would leave a bruise on your hand. And Tylenol. Okay, here's a clip. We're gonna laugh. This is so good.
Note, I know that many in the media have been speculating about bruising on the president's hand and also swelling in the president's legs. So in the effort of transparency, the president
again with the effort of transparency line, which he just used 3 months ago to describe his perfect health.
A note from his physician with all of you today. In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70. Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. Laboratory testing included a...
I think he has heart disease because she is really trying to make sure people know he doesn't have heart disease.
Complete blood count, comprehensive metabolic panel, coagulation profile, D-dimer, B-type natriuretic peptide, and cardiac biomarkers. All results were within normal limits. An echocardiogram was also performed and confirmed normal cardiac structure and function. No signs of heart failure, renal impairment, or systemic illness were identified. Additionally, recent photos of the president have shown minor bruising on the back of his hand. This is consistent with minor soft tissue irritation from frequent handshaking and the use of aspirin, which is taken as part of the standard cardiovascular prevention regimen.
Oh, they literally just said aspirin and handshakes. I forgot I can walk around now. I got a wireless headset. Aspirin and handshakes is what we're going with. Okay. Yeah, we're just all completely fucking stupid, right? Is that what we're gonna go with? aspirin and handshakes. That explains it all, everybody. We're good, right? No more investigation is needed. Let's see what Donald Trump's doing on Truth Social. I haven't looked at his freaking feed in a while. Been trying to avoid it. Let's look it up. Let's see what's going on here. All right, let me take her off screen. Put this back on here. Oh, he's going after Adam Schiff again. That's a normal everyday thing, pretty much. That's somebody else that lives rent free. Like Adam Schiff doesn't even have to say anything, and Donald Trump will just come out of the blue like Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, here he's going full racism. I did see this post. The Washington whatevers should immediately change their name back to the Washington Redskins, and he also thinks the Cleveland should go back to using the Indians. He prefers the racist monikers instead of just progressing like the rest of the world. My poll numbers within the Republican Party and MAGA have gone up significantly since the Jeffrey Epstein hoax was exposed by the radical left Democrats and just plain troublemakers. They have hit 90, 92, 93, and 95 in various polls. All are Republican Party records. Oh, I know. He's not talking about people. He's talking about Republicans. They polled Donald Trump's numbers have gone up within the Republican Party since this entire Epstein scandal has finally come to a head. That should tell you everything you need to know. Seriously, that's disgusting. He's not talking about Republican voters. He's talking about the Republican Party itself. He says and MAGA, but that's not true because MAGA is jumping ship. But apparently, Republicans, at least the ones that run the country, are quite okay with Donald Trump's sordid past. And also now that we've found out there's 3 minutes missing from that video that they released, the transparency presidency. 3 minutes, not 1, 3 minutes missing from the video footage, the raw, untouched video footage that was then fed through Adobe. And then they didn't scrub the metadata because they're all a bunch of freaking morons that don't know what they're doing. This is seriously pathetic. Oh, wow, time flies. Today is 6th-month anniversary of my second term. Importantly, it's being hailed as one of the most consequential periods of any president. That's actually true because we're fighting against Nazis with you at the helm. So, here he is. Here he is posting himself the creation of the Russian. This is their distraction now. We'll see what the comments look like on this. Oh, no, I don't want to post a comment. I just want to read the comments. Where are the fucking comments? Can you read comments on this stupid app? I guess not. Show truth and details. Oh, there we go. All right, let's see what delusional MAGA. They've totally forgot about the Epstein thing, some of them. Or they don't care. They don't care. Time for a builder to rebuild America. He's not ever built anything. These people are so fucking weird, man. Now they're talking about, oh my God, dude. This is the shit they post on Truth Social, guys. These people are out of their freaking minds. Yeah, it's all about Obama. Just how soon can Alcatraz be ready, Mr. President? Trump was right. They seriously believe it. They seriously believe it. Obama, after he left office or right before he left office, orchestrated the Russia hoax. Even though, because it's been proven time again that Russia's interfered with the 2016 election. It's not a hoax. It's not even a conspiracy theory. It's complete facts. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So yeah, that's it. Donald Trump's health, I think, is way worse than we think. So maybe one day in the near future, you'll wake up and find out good news. Good, or they're going to throw Donald Trump under the bus for this Epstein thing and then go with JD Vance. With the public, JD Vance is going to suck because he has the charisma of a wet rag, and runs like Forrest Gump. You seen the video when he runs? I'm going to make a video of that and Forrest Gump running, and you tell me if it's not the same thing. So, or Scotty from when Scotty runs out on Dr. Evil. All right, I got to do some editing. I think, but again, I think Donald Trump's health is way worse than we thought. Could be late stage syphilis, could be heart disease, but he's showing a lot of signs and symptoms. It's not just the ankles, it's the hand, inside and out. All right, that does not come from vigorous handshakes, neither side. Okay, and this is not the first time we've seen Donald Trump with open sores on his hand, and that's a symptom of late stage syphilis. Just saying, I'm not poking fun or anything like that, but I mean, very well could be a possibility. Donald Trump grew up in the era where safe sex wasn't really a thing. It's not far fetched to think that he could have something like that. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves today. Sorry about the beginning of the show and not having any audio. That's my bad. I forgot I hooked up my headphones and forgot to go back in and double check. So from now on, I will do that. I'll be back on tomorrow with James, doing another episode of the Derp State. And then Tuesday, Mike and I'll be back on. And then from here on out, I have one more upgrade to do to my studio, which is I ordered a really dope background to hang up that I'm excited about. But other than that, man, I'm ready to do some work and get back into it. So like I said, there's some events coming up. There's one on the 27th in DC. I can do that in a day. It's only a 4-hour drive from my house in Pennsylvania. So I could hit DC, do the event and come back. That's not a problem. It is a lot, but I don't mind doing it. I have to see what the financial situation is by then. And then according to the Pennsylvania lead of 5051, there's a definite event August 2nd at my state capitol that I will be attending and live streaming. So I hope to see you guys there. Again, if you want to donate, there is a GoFundMe in the link tree, which is the description of the video. It's also on our channel pages. Also, you can support our work by becoming a channel member. You can... I forget how it all works on Twitch and Kick, to be honest with you. I know you can gift subs. I think you gift subs on YouTube, stuff like that. There's a lot of ways you guys can participate and help support our work. We also have merch. We do have some shirts that you guys are able to find on our link tree as well. Other than that, I will be gaming on Twitch and Kick and TikTok after this. If you guys want to come hang out in the comments. If not, I will see you tomorrow again with James doing another hilarious episode of the Derp State. Try and keep it light this time. Last week was fun. Yeah, last week. Some of these episodes get pretty intense because it's like not a lot of good news to make fun of. You know what I'm saying? Or not a lot of stuff to make fun of these days. More of the stuff's getting a bit too serious, though. Also, just be smart out there. Okay, if you go to a protest, just be smart. Not much. I can't guarantee there aren't any risks, but as you can see, I've live streamed every single protest I've been to. I think we're up to 10 this year just for me. And not a single bad thing has happened. It's been an amazing occasion on all fronts. So yeah, just be smart. That's all. Love you guys. See you tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Other than that, have a good rest of your day. And I will talk to you soon.